Taylor Swift's new album, The Tortured Poets Department, in my opinion, is just simply not good. And I like to preface this by saying I actually do like Taylor Swift's music. This Kanye poster is not helping my point. As I was saying, I like to preface this by saying I actually do like Taylor Swift's music. I think Folklore and Evermore are fantastic albums. So, I'm not a Taylor hater. Don't get that from this video. However, this album is one of the worst albums I have ever heard in my life. Maybe that's hyperbole, but it's pretty bad in my opinion. This album follows the same general style as Midnight's, which is an album I also didn't like. But yeah, somehow this album's worse than Midnight's. So, how are we gonna do this video? Let's go track by track. Yeah, okay, we're gonna go track by track with this album. So anyway, track number 1, Fortnite, featuring Post Malone. Alright, so this is supposed to be the lead single to this album, and this song hardly feels like one at all. This song just absolutely blends into this 1 hour sound like that this album is, and honestly, that is one of my biggest problems with the album, is that it all sounds like one long song. Like, it sounds... The way I'll put it is, like, there's no song stands out here, compared to, like, Midnight's, like, Anti-Hero. Even when I listened to the album, I knew, okay, Anti-Hero, that's gonna be the hit song here. There's no song in this album where I'm like, yeah, okay, that's the hit right there, because everything here just sounds all really the same. And also, yeah, did I mention this album's an hour long? Yeah, very long. It does not need to be an hour long. But honestly, my main problem with this song is the fact that it's just really boring. And Post Malone was, like, kind of barely on here. It reminds me of Snow on the Beach, like, off Midnight's, how, like, Lana was barely on it. Like, Post Malone's still, like, on it more than Lana was on that song, but still, it's like, is it really a feature? He has, like, one verse that's, like... Track number 2, The Tortured Poets Department. It's the title track already, and it is extremely boring. But, hey, let's look at the lyrics here. After all, Taylor Swift is a tortured poet. You left your typewriter at my apartment, straight from the Tortured Poets Department. I think some things I never say, like, who uses typewriters? Anyway. This is elementary school writing here. I guess what she's going for is that, like, the person she's talking to here is weird because they own a typewriter, I guess. It's just a weird line. Like, the line doesn't, like, make... It doesn't work well. Like, it kind of makes sense, but it just sounds weird. And then later on she says, you're not Dylan Thomas, I'm not Patti Smith. And good on you, Taylor, for recognizing you are nothing like Patti Smith. But yeah, very weak writing here, and the song is also just so boring. I'm going to be saying that a lot for this entire review, by the way. Because a lot of songs... Most songs on the album are extremely boring here. Track number 3, My Boy Only Breaks His Favorite Toys. Firstly, like, this song has, like, a horrible, like, drum sound that just plays throughout the entire song, which I just cannot stand.
The voices in his head called the rain to end.
And also, maybe I'm tripping, but I swear Taylor has another song that sounds exactly like this, but I couldn't find it. So maybe I'm just going delirious from listening to this album. Decent lyrics here. She compares herself to a toy and how presumably her ex broke her, even though she was his favorite toy. Expert writing here. And I don't really care about Taylor lore and who she dates, so that's why a lot of these lyrics just don't really hit for me. Maybe if I was, like, deep into Taylor lore, I knew all of her exes, I knew everything, I'd be, like, more into this. But, like, why should I actually have to know all this lore to actually enjoy this? Think about it, should the music be enjoyable for anyone? I was looking this stuff up and I found on the Taylor Swift subreddit that tons of people were like saying, this album is for the real fans, the real Swifties. If you're a casual listener, you won't like this album. I'm sorry, you just have to really like it to get it. And I shouldn't know your entire backstory to like your album or song. Take for example, Thank You Next by Ariana Grande. Does knowing the backstory to the song help it? Absolutely. But do you need to know it to like the song? No. Do you know why? Because the song is, as Ariana says it herself. But what I'm getting at here, basically, is that knowing the backstory or the lore to a song should only elevate an already good song. It shouldn't be a requirement for liking it. And especially not a requirement for liking an entire 16-song album. Track number 4, Down Bad. Taylor. Firstly, you are 34 and using the term down bad. Anyway, the title is very accurate because she is down bad for this guy. She's down bad, crying at the gym, as she says. Song's extremely repetitive and boring. She basically just says she's down bad for like a lot of like things like, I'm down bad, I'm crying in my bed. I'm down bad, I'm even crying at the gym now. And also, this song is about Matty Healy. Hey, at least Taylor moved on from him. Also, the swearing on this song is super awkward. Taylor does this a lot on this album, like where she swears, but it just sounds like really awkward. It sounds like how Olivia Rodrigo swore on like Vampire. It just like doesn't sound right in my opinion. Track number 5, So Long London. Boring track, but there's this part in like the middle that builds up and it seems like it's gonna reach a climax, and then it doesn't. So that really pissed me off. Also, I'm sorry, I won't have like a lot to talk about every song because some of these songs are really boring and have zero substance. Track number 6, Daddy, I Love Him. This song is about Taylor Swift asking her dad for permission to date a guy. And hey, not a bad premise for a song. This part right here is the core of the song. It's where Taylor is begging her father for approval to date this guy.
Screaming, but daddy, I love him. I'm having his baby. No, I'm not, but you should see your faces.
And sonically, it just doesn't sound convincing at all. Like, Taylor, do you really love him? Do you really want your father's approval? It doesn't sound like it at all. Let's compare this to another song with the same topic, which is Papas Don't Preach by Madonna. And listen to this. She's selling it here. She wants her father's blessing. And also sonically, this song is just way better, but that's not really the point. The song ends here with a dumb, happy cliche ending where her dad ends up approving. That is so boring. And Taylor didn't even sound interested throughout the entire song. And the production is bad. Hey, editing Lucky Star Fan 77 here. So I just realized I didn't really say my point too well with like the comparison to Papas Don't Preach. Like what I was trying to get at is that in this song, Taylor does not sound like interested at all. It's like she's like out of it. Well, and like Papas Don't Preach by Madonna, the reason why that song works so well is because it sounds genuinely like, yeah, she's keeping her baby and she wants him so bad. While in this Taylor Swift song, I just don't get that at all, and that's why it just doesn't work. Track number 7, Fresh Out of the Slammer. Boring song, not much to talk about here. This is one of the least played songs in the album, and it's for a good reason, because there's not much substance here. Track number 8, Florida. As a Florida resident, I don't claim this song, but honestly, this is probably one of the better tracks of the album. The call and response part with Florence and the Machine is simply amazing. But I really just can't stand like the refrain here, where it just gets like louder, and she says Florida, and then the drums start hitting.
Florida is one hell of a drug.
I just don't like that. Despite this, best track on the album so far actually. I'd say this is pretty good. Track number 9, Guilty as Sin. The vocals on this song sound so much different than the vocals on any other song on this album.
If I roll the stone away, they're gonna crucify me anyway. What if the way you hold me is actually what's holy?
And honestly, I really like it. They sound way more like her on Folklore and Evermore, which by the way, I like those albums. Which means, I like this song. Yep, this is the first song I would classify as pretty good on the album. I like Guilty as Sin off of the Tortured Poets department. Good on you, Taylor. You're 2 out of 16 right now, so maybe you can bump these numbers up with the next few songs. Track number 10, Who's Afraid of Me? This song might have one of the worst lyrics on this entire album. You wouldn't last a minute in the asylum where they raised me. Taylor, you grew up here in Reading, Pennsylvania. You grew up in a 3,560 square foot home. What asylum are you talking about? Track 11, I Can Fix Him. Another boring track. Track 12, LOML. This track right here is trying to go for like an emotional piano ballad, but honestly, it just doesn't work at all in my opinion. Also, lyrically, a lot of the songs on this album are just talking about the same thing, which is just like her relationship issues. And this is another song about her relationship issues, so it's kind of boring in that aspect. Track 13, Can Do It With a Broken Heart. I'm just gonna say it right now, this instrumental sounds like corporate advertising music. And yeah, the rest of the song lyrically isn't that interesting. There's the really cringe line where she's like, "I'm so depressed like it's my birthday," and they're just like, I just don't like it. Track 14, Smallest Line. The Jehovah's Witness line here actually made me chuckle, and that's it. The song's still boring like the rest of them. Track 15, The Alchemy. Boring track again. The line, "He jokes that it's heroin, but this time with an E," makes like literally zero sense to me. Maybe I'm just dumb, so if you like know what this line means, like maybe can you comment in the comments, but like I do not get this line at all. Maybe I really don't get this and I might sound like a complete idiot right now, but I don't get this line at all. Please someone explain it to me. And the last song on the album, track number 16, Clara Bow. Taylor sent off this album with the most boring song on the album yet. Good on you, Taylor. And that was the whole album. And in my opinion, not good. Obviously, there were 2 good songs out of the 16. But guess what? Taylor Swift, like 2 hours after dropping this album, released the Anthology, which is a deluxe album, which has 15 more tracks. And I just want to say, I don't know what's up with artists now and releasing these super long deluxe albums. Like Chris Brown in 2019 made a 42 song long album. Like, what is wrong with these artists now? But yeah, the Anthology, 2 hours long. Well, I guess I gotta listen to it now. It's like, I have to get the full Taylor experience. I need to listen to these 15 extra bonus tracks to really get the Tortured Poets department. So, here we go again. By the way, I'm just gonna go a little bit faster through these. There's not much to talk about. These songs do very much sound like songs that were scrapped off the main album, which is saying a lot because the main album, like, isn't that good. So if it didn't get on there, might not be the greatest. Track 17, The Black Dog, boring piano ballad. Track 18, I'm Gonna Get You Back. I feel like this song's like trying to copy Olivia Rodrigo with like how the name is spelled. And also, it's another boring song about trying to get him back. Track 19, The Albatross. Wise Men once read fake news. Conservative Taylor moment? Track 20, Chloe, or Sam, or Sophia, or Marcus. My first question is, who are these people? And there's nothing about that online, so I guess it's just up to mystery. Another boring song. Track 21, How Did It End? This song might also have one of the worst lyrics on this album. My beloved ghost and me, sitting in a tree, D-Y-I-N-G. This actually might be one of the most cringy things Taylor Swift has ever said. And she said, "Come on, kids, spelling is fun." So, yeah, this is very cringe and a horrible line. Track 22, So High School. Taylor Swift in the song reminisces on high school like she peaked in there. And this song features the amazing line, "I know Aristotle, brand new, full throttle. Touch me, let your bros play, Grand Theft Auto." This line is horrible. Firstly, I hope Taylor's being sarcastic about being smart for knowing Aristotle. Literally everyone knows who Aristotle is. It's like required to learn about him in school. But hey, I'll give her the benefit of the doubt that this was like a sarcastic line at people who like act like they're smart. At least I hope so. But the part where it's like, "In Touch Me While Your Bros Play Grand Theft Auto," first of all, weird, and second of all, I don't know what this is implying. Is she in the same room as a bunch of guys playing GTA while he touches her? Is he on Xbox Party Chat and she's in the room? Or is he like doing it in private while his friends are just off playing GTA? Leaves too many questions. This line is really pissing me off right now. It's making me wonder too much. Like, Taylor, you should have cleared it up. Track 23, I Hate It Here. Opens with the line, "Tell me something awful. Like you are a poet trapped inside the body of a finance guy." Fire sarcastic line. I'll give you that, Taylor. I like that. But the song just gets ruined lyrically when she brings out the now infamous line, "We could pick a decade. We wish you could live instead of this." I'd say the 1830s, but without all the racists and getting married for the highest bid. Even if this line is satire, which I hope to God this line is satire, this is just horrible. How did this even get past like the producers and the publishers? This line is absolutely awful. Track 24, Thank You All Me. Song is bad, but like the title of the song has like random capitalizations, and for the life of me, I don't get what they mean. So can someone in the comments please explain it to me? Thank you, but yeah, another boring track. Track 25, I Look in People's Windows. Another boring track that's like kind of creepy. I look in people's windows in case you're at their table. Are you a stalker, Taylor? I know this is also probably satire. I know she's probably using satire on a lot of these songs, but still, these lyrics are very weird, and also, the way she's vocally saying a lot of these lines, they don't sound satire at all. It sounds like she's completely serious, which makes it weird. This is also like very stalkerish, like I just said. It's kind of like Every Breath You Take by The Police. Track 26, The Prophecy. I'm sorry for repeating myself, but the songs on this album are that similar. They're so boring, like sonically. Anyway, Taylor at the start of this here says, I got cursed like Eve got bit. Last I checked, she didn't get bit, she bit an apple. But you probably know that, and I'm hoping Taylor knows that. So I'm like, okay, there has to be some deeper meaning to this line, right? So I looked it up, and on the great friends on r/Taylor Swift said, Eve didn't get bit, she was tempted, and she bit into the forbidden fruit. AKA, Taylor Swift didn't get cursed, she was tempted and chose her own fate. I mean, I guess you can interpret it like this. I don't know, mentally I just feel like Taylor Swift wrote this by mistake. Because the line doesn't even really make sense like that. Like, a better line would be like, I got cursed, like the apple got bitten. Like, that makes more sense. I don't know what she was going for with this, because this really doesn't make a lot of sense at all. And then she goes on to say, change the prophecy. Don't want money. Taylor, you clearly want money. If you didn't have money, you couldn't fly across your house in your private jet. Track 27, Cassandra. Boring. Track 28, Peter. I don't really like the piano thing going on this song at all. I don't like the piano here. But lyrically, the song is about Taylor asking for forgiveness from a Peter, and saying that this Peter was going to grow up and find her. Now, I don't think Taylor Swift was trying to be Catholic here and use the intercession of saints to ask for spiritual forgiveness. However, I kind of wish that, because all the songs on this album are about the same thing. It would be kind of cool to hear Taylor talk about something else. But no, the song is most likely just about Taylor Swift talking about an ex and just deciding to name him Peter. I don't care. In my head, she's talking about Pete Davidson. Track 29, The Bolter. Another boring song which has really cringy swearing on it. Track 30, another boring piano song that has this weird train noise at the start, which kind of threw me off because the song doesn't give off train vibes at all. Track 31, The Manuscript. We did it, the final song on the Anthology. It's another piano type ballad, and nothing on this song rhymes at all. It has to be intentional because it just feels so off that every line feels so out of place. And lyrically, guess what? It's about her life and the people who she dated. Never heard that one before. Yeah, honestly, extremely boring ending to an extremely boring album. In conclusion, this album is just straight up not good. Out of the 31 songs, I'd say 2 are actually good. And please don't take this as me hating Taylor Swift, okay? I'm telling you, I like Taylor Swift. I liked Folklore and Evermore. My favorite song by her is Ivy. I really love the song Ivy by Taylor Swift. I wouldn't say I'm a Swiftie, but I mean, I don't hate her, okay? I just want to make that clear. I'm not out to hate Taylor. This album just isn't good, and it feels like Taylor has just given up since Midnights. Because I even like other albums, like Reputation. I like Reputation. I like 1989. I like her old country stuff. Because she felt like she was actually trying to make a good album. Mentally, when I'm listening to those albums, even if I don't like some of the songs on there, I'm mentally Taylor's okay, Taylor must think that she is making a good song though. Here, it feels like Taylor knows that this isn't good. It feels like Taylor knows she can just write whatever and people will listen to it. That's how I feel about this album. Yeah, this is worse than Midnights. And Midnights is bad. I'll say Midnights is bad. I liked Anti-Hero on it, but that's to the extent of it. So yeah, Taylor, not good. You heard it from Lucky Star Fan 77. Your album was not good in my opinion. But yeah, I don't like this album. Clearly. But if you do like it, no shame to you, okay? I want a civil comment section, okay? Civil comment section, remember that. No hate, so yeah. Just remember it's my opinion, and if you want to comment, please comment. Thank you for watching. And don't forget to subscribe to Lucky Star Fan 77. Please. Hey, editing Lucky Star Fan here. I just realized I forgot to mention like one line, which is like very important, is that the album is more just like boring than it is bad. Like nothing here in my opinion is like outright like it's bleeding my ears bad. But nothing here is good. It's like just like boring. It's like listening to a Drake album. That's how I'll put it. It's like listening to a Drake album. Like it's boring. It's not like laughably bad. But it's not good either. It's just like snooze fest territory, which is how I feel about this album. Anyway, thank you for watching this far. Maybe you should like hit subscribe. Haha, haha, please, please.